Code S player this season.
In the top left, he wants this bad for his new Taiwanese team. He is
Leenock.
To the top right, in the teal.
Fantasy.
A player whose career in StarCraft 1 dwarfs his StarCraft 2 career, but he is getting better and better every day.
I think he'll probably go Reaper, right?
No.
Oh, never mind.
Well, unless it's a
Never
proxy
mind.
Reaper.
Yeah, I mean,
which
it could
he
be.
showed us already
Okay,
on a...
that drone saw him, and he's sending a second SCV. This is looking really bad.
Okay, you should just go home and make a CC first.
Yep. Yep. Or could just make a barracks into CC, something like that. We'll see. Wow, that's painful, man.
That's a lot of lost mining.
Yeah, this obviously a very smart drone scout from Leenock. He's just totally double checking.
Thing is, it could have been worse if he started the barracks first, so...
Oh yeah, that definitely would have been worse. But, you know, as is, still pretty bad. He lost a lot of mining time there.
Yeah. But if you think about it, it's not like he can't recover. We've seen games where like players like Flash actually just SCV scout before they go to CC first just because they want to be safe, and then still are able to play quite good games.
No, totally. It's not like Leenock has some giant lead now. I don't want to make it seem like that, but definitely, you know, there's an emotional aspect to this as well, where you're like, oh, damn it, nothing is going my way.
Yeah. No, absolutely. You're so right. I'm glad you bring that up. That feeling of like, this was not the plan. This was just not the plan. So he was going to do a double barracks proxy, try to end Leenock here. That's how he won in game 1.
Oh my God,
guys. This is just like, I cannot even stress this enough. This should never happen to anybody in Platinum League. And this just happened to a professional player twice. His mind has got to be so frustrated right now and so stressed out.
Wow. Wow, the mind screw that this game is for Fantasy, seriously, like, no matter how much of a pro you are, no matter how many OSLs or MSLs you've won, like, that's painful that this game, he scouts your double proxy 11 that you wanted to do, comes back with his drone after scouting more to really make sure, and kills an SCV. All this lost mining time, you got to slow down the command center a bit. Ouch.
He's not done yet.
No?
The thing is also to consider, like, every single time he damages an SCV, it may mean that later when he sends a Ling in, that's like the extra hit that gets the Ling to kill.
Absolutely could be. And Leenock is a player that you know will send in those Lings.
Yeah.
So.
Even microed so hard to try to kill the drone and didn't get it. It's funny because that's like so insignificant if you look at the whole great game and its biggest scale, but for Fantasy, that's another thing that's just like, I couldn't even kill the drone.
There's been 2 economic hiccups just to start. So, you know, everything's fitting together a little bit worse than it does in practice. Anyways, we do have a reactor on the way as well as a factory. He is getting a second gas. So will he be going into a starport? Does he just want to like try to get stim really quickly here? Maybe a second factory again.
I think he's going to go
Maybe he wants to go in
Banshee.
Armory and just go for a Thor attack. No, not that one.
I think it's going to be Banshee. Just like one Banshee though, not Cloak.
Okay.
And then Stem.
Not a bad build. Definitely something we've seen a lot recently. And yeah, it looks like it is going to be that. Now, I mean, he could end up getting stim. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it could be either way.
Which one do you like more?
In these positions, based on what happened to him in this game, I would say most people would want to go Banshee here.
Yeah.
But with Fantasy, I'm like,
I mean, like, do you like Cloak more or no Cloak more?
oh, no Cloak more.
Okay.
Especially against somebody like Leenock who goes fast layer like this a lot.
Good point. Good point.
But for Fantasy, for like how his multitasking has been just a bit off in these games, I hope for his sake he does not try to go Banshees at all and just go Stim.
It's a possibility. It looks like that is not going to be it, though. He is
double factory. Looks like...
well, that's, like, I think this
Blue
is going to
Flame
be
again.
mech as well, but
well, he's starting off with Blue Flame,
100%
right?
have to?
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have that Tech Lab bait again by the barracks for the factory so he can start Blue Flame. Unless he's going to realize, like, transformation servos.
Like a Spire here, this is actually really strong from Leenock. Yep. Okay, so he sees that this is actually Cloak Banshee. Now, luckily, Fantasy got that second fact out of there. That's really important. We might see a cancel on this cloak. A lot of times we do.
Yep.
Yeah. And kind of painful that he saw that a Banshee's coming, but it's not the biggest deal in the whole world. The one thing that's really nice for Leenock is that he knows that his build is good against this build.
Also, Fantasy doesn't know there's no third base. He has no idea that there's a 2-base layer and 2-base Spire. You know, this third base is very late. He actually, if he knew about that, he might have had Hellions there to maybe even force a cancel on it, but he just doesn't know that like it's going to be this late with this low hit points. And it looks like he's just going to try to come up here to the natural. And Spore Crawler can put up to the front here. Doesn't have a wall, but there's a lot of Lings there.
Yeah, he's not going to break through right now, I don't think. You know, that third base might be something you could take down, but the Spire is about to finish. I think this is going to break Fantasy's heart when Mutas like go and meet him, because this Banshee has been zoned out of where the Spire is. It, like, the first sign of the Mutas is going to be when he sees the Mutas in his base.
Well, these Lings are actually just going to run by.
But you know what? To be fair, he did see the lair. I don't know why I didn't think of that first, but like he saw the layer, so Fantasy may get prepared for this real quick.
I think the Mutas are going to stay at home for the defense.
Yeah.
So no wall here again. Actually, does he just ignore the Mutas and try to go for drone kills?
I think so. Now
well,
he does have blue.
Now it's done.
But yeah, if you keep these here, this gives you time at home to actually try to prepare. The thing is, he can only really make Vikings and Widow Mines right now as anti-air. He doesn't have that eBay yet. He doesn't have an armory. It makes it really rough.
That was scary. Almost getting a few good drone shots there, but doesn't happen.
He only killed 4 workers total with this.
But Leenock has less workers than usual because he went for 2-base layer. So it's not like the situation is like, wow, he lost all his Hellions and didn't kill anything. He bought the time to maybe defend these Mutalisks and then catch up that way.
Yeah, I think he's actually going to be okay against the Mutalisk harassment. Like, it'll kill some stuff, but it's not going to kill him 100%. He's got Widow Mines out. He has a Viking in the middle of the map that he wants the Mutas to go after. In fact,
actually,
it doesn't look like they did yet.
Leenock hasn't even sent the Mutas to attack yet. He's just trying to intercept these attacks so he can keep his economy going up. 13 drones on the way, which he desperately needed. Roach Warren comes up. I think he might be expecting Mech as a follow-up to this.
Yeah, and it's okay to expect that. You know, you've already seen Blue Flame. You know, you must have 2 factories. You've seen Banshee with, you know, well, 2 Banshees at this point. So definitely could expect that, but now he sees, in fact, that this is going to be a bio.
Oh, he wants to cancel Stim here. He's going to have some SCVs over there to repair.
Oh, the Widow Mine. One of them does go down.
Oh, all he sees that triple set. He's like, I'm out of here.
Good dodge there with the Mutas.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, that was actually very good for Fantasy right there.
Yeah. All right, this could be good for him as well. There's 1 queen nearby, but not using it at all. And actually playing the Mutalisk the opposite direction. I think he realizes like he wasn't really going to get anything more out of these Banshees this game and decided to try to go for those kills.
What were those going to do? That was actually probably
the best he could have done.
I guess.
Arguably.
It hurts to say that, but that may be the case. And look at that. 3 Widow Mines just sitting there. That's like... Do you remember this game on... Oh, wait, no. I was casting with Tasteless, not you.
Well, I probably saw it.
The game on Daedalus where...
Oh, yeah.
The Zerg could not lose unless literally he flew into mines that looked like this. Watch. Leenock, how good are you?
Well, he's the guy who does Baneling traps all the time, so I feel like he's pretty well versed at this. Oh my goodness, Artosis! He stopped Stim.
God, that is so big.
And now he's going to get this reactor too, and just going to cut down all these Marines that come out. Look at the army supply. There's not enough units for Fantasy. Period.
Oh my God.
I think he's just going to die to this group of Mutalisks.
Yeah, it looks like it.
He's just going to camp these.
You're right. You're right.
1 Viking and 2 Marines on the map.
He doesn't have the anti-air that he needs.
Going to kill these eBays before they finish either, by the way.
These Mutalisks and Leenock are going to Code S.
The Widow Mine's popping out to die here. Really want to see a shot of Fantasy right now. More Lings coming across the map, dropping all his mules here.
Well, if you want to see sadness, then you want to see Fantasy, because this game is now over. Fantasy not being able to do it here. Wow. Killing off all the Widow Mines. There's just nothing left. 5 Marines and a Viking don't stop what we see here.
20 Mutas, that's it. Scanning right now, I guess probably trying to find out how many how much is mining back at home. I think he's just trying to come to terms with his loss here.
Yeah, for sure.
GG. Again, Fantasy and Flash. The Terrans and Brewdor fail. We advance to Code S, and Leenock is back. A big fan favorite.
Well, he's Leenock, man. You can never count him out. You can never count him down. He's an amazing player indeed, and he shows it right there.
Well, it was a really, really good season of Code A.
Yeah, it really was. I quite enjoyed this season. A lot of really quality games.
We had a lot of really good games, a lot of funny games, a lot of old faces, you know, players like Leenock and Shoya coming back.
Yeah.
Fantasy's got to dry his eyes after that best of 3. A really tough one to take.
Well, Leenock spit in his face with those mutas, man.
Yeah.
It's a rough one, but
he didn't try to play straight up in that best of 3, and I think that's what bit him. I think he could have actually done it. I mean, it would have been hard, but I would have liked to see it.
I wonder if more people are going to be happy to see Leenock in Code S or sad to see Fantasy not. Because, you know, obviously both of them have a lot of fans, but Leenock's been around forever. It's great to see him back in great shape here. His games today were really nice.
Yeah, I think that was probably, that's a really good question. I'd say it's probably about even. I think there's just enough fans for both sides to where half of everybody's going to be sad and half of everybody's going to be happy.
Okay.
This isn't the end for Fantasy. Of course, he's playing on one of the best Pro League teams, one of the most well-funded teams in all of Korea.
You see him put out a reasonable amount.
And he'll probably be back in Code A next season. I would expect it's pretty reasonable to expect.
Well, he's a very good player, as you can see. Like he almost just qualified for Code S.
Yeah, he was very close, one game away. We're going to take a look at our results today. For Group L, Myung-Sik advances with some great Phoenix play. Really solid play to get him out of the group in first place. And Leenock, the old Zerg player who's just been pretty consistent over time. He had a bit of a slump, but he's getting back out today in second place, winning over Fantasy with a 2-1.
It's great play there from Leenock. Sadly, Emotion and Fantasy both do fall down to Code B. Emotion, a pretty big surprise for me in PBT. I thought he played nicely against Fantasy. Yeah, he did go too, but it was good play. Another up-and-comer that you have to look out for in future seasons.
Yeah. So I don't know if we're going to take a look at all of our total qualified Code S players. We might have a graph of that, or you guys might have to wait. Probably going to be one of those on the internet a little bit later.
Oh, I have no doubt in my mind that Liquipedia has everything.
Okay, here we go. Here it is. So 4 Terrans in Code S this time. We have...
Hey, we're building it back up. 3 last season, 4 this season.
Innovation is in there. But this time we have an even distribution of Zergs and Protosses. And you can see the players who remained from last season. Only 1 Terran remained. For Protoss, we had 5 left, and for Zerg, just 2 were able to survive. Wow. So a lot of new Zergs, the most newcomers this season by far.
The Terran thing is what's really interesting me here, Wolf, because last season it was Maru, Byung, and Supernova. And the fact that the 3 of them are back really
solidifies that they're the best.
Really says something about their skill. I don't care if you don't like Byung as much as Tai or like Supernova as much as some other Terran. This says something serious about those 3 players.
So guys, we have the global tournament coming up. We're going to have a CG up here on the screen. It's going to be at 1 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, tomorrow and the next day. That's going to be like when the first match started today. I'll be back with Tasteless for those 2.
Yeah.
And then, as you can see, it finishes up. Well, it doesn't say there, but it finishes up next Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I believe, yeah.
And you'll be doing that with
I'll be doing that with Brendan, so you guys will be watching that.
Well, we'll be at DreamHack, me and Tasteless, so make sure you tune into both.
There's going to be so much StarCraft going on.
So much StarCraft. Well, it's finally the season again. It was a little bit slow. Then we had a GSL season, started picking up more in events and whatnot, and here we are, really back in the flow of things.
So much Korean StarCraft, but going on worldwide as well.
Yeah.
So it's been a great Code A season. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.